Okay, the purpose of this tutorial is to learn how to use skeletons. We'll create a simple robot model and parent it to a skeleton. Next, we're going to go ahead and animate the skeleton, and you're going to see how that will animate the geometry as well. The key commands in this tutorial will be how to select a child joint and then the parent joint and press P to connect them, meaning that the second joint you select is going to be the parent of the first joint. This will connect the second joint to the first joint. The key concepts will be the placement of joints and how they act like pivot points. When you place the joint under the geometry, the object will rotate via the bottom. It's similar to the insert point. And if you place the pivot point over the geometry, again, it'll rotate up and down. I'll demonstrate those concepts as we go along. What we're going to do in this tutorial again is learn how to make a robot, attach the robot pieces to the skeleton, and then go ahead and animate the skeleton without touching the geometry. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up Maya and get started with that. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we'll do is we're going to create the base of the object. Now we could use polygons, we could use NURBS, it doesn't really matter. We're going to use polygons just because they're easy to use. So let's go ahead and create the base. And we're going to create this all separately. We're actually not going to use extrusion. So that's going to be the base. Okay, and now we're going to create a cylinder. And I'm just going to use my foreview by hitting my spacebar button and line these objects up. This will make my life easy. Okay. Now we're going to need is a joint, so I'm going to use a sphere for the joint. Again, I'm going to hit spacebar and use my foreview to help place my object. Okay, there you go. It's close enough. Make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to just go ahead and select this one and press Control plus D. So Control, hold down the Control key, then hit D. I'm going to go ahead and move this up. Okay, this will work good for this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rotate this a bit like that. Right there, okay? And I'm going to make one more, Control D. Control D again. Okay, that's good. I'm just going to make 2 clamps as well. I'm going to create a little cube here. And I'm just going to go to Add a Mesh, Insert Edge Loop, right there. Take the face right here and bring it in. These are, if you're doing a human, obviously these would act like fingers, which you'll do for the Neeks. Okay, so there you go. Control D. Move this over. And a quick way to reflect this is you take your scale tool and you take this red handle and we do that. And we go to negative 0.689 here. Negative 0.689. Right there. Yours might be a little different. It depends on the value. You just basically want to negate whatever value is there. Okay, these are slightly big, so I'm just going to scale both of them down a little bit, like that. Okay, there you go. Alright, now the next thing we're going to do is add our skeleton in. How do we do that? Well, we're going to go to our side view, and we're actually going to select everything like this. Okay? Go to your layers. Make sure your channel box is open right here. If it's not, you could hit Control A as well. That'll do it. Go to Layers and go to Create Empty Layer. And double click here, and we're going to call this layer Robot. Okay, now we're going to right click on this layer and go to Add Selected Objects. See that? The V controls the visibility. I just want to make this right now Reference and hit 4. Reference means it's there, but but I can't select it. Okay, it's referenced. Okay, so now let's go ahead and make our skeleton. So go to your animation menu and go to skeleton, joint tool. We're going to have a joint for the base, a joint for the bottom here, a joint for here, a joint for there. We could always move this. We want the joints to be at the bottom. Middle of the joint here, middle of the sphere, and bottom of the geometry here. Okay. Alright, now we're going to stop. I know we didn't do the hand yet, but we'll get there. We're going to go to front view. This is pretty good. Alright. You'll notice that my joints are really small. See, these are really, you can barely see these things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Display, Animation, Joint Size. And I'm just going to hike this number up until I get something I could see. That's pretty good. This is good. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Top View. And I'm going to go to Skeleton Joint Tool. And I'm just going to make a joint here. Hit Enter. And I'm going to hit G to execute my last command and make a joint there. Now you say to yourself, well, they're not connected to this. Let's go to perspective here. See, they're not connected to this. And we also have to move these up. If we're going to side view, highlight them and just move them up to there. Okay. See how they're not connected? And if I go to perspective, I'm just going to quickly change this to T. Okay. T is transparent. So in order to connect them, select the child, shift select the parent, and hit P. Do the same with the other one. Child, parent, P. There you go. This is the skeleton for the robot. I'm going to stop this, and in the next video what we're going to do is we're actually going to animate this thing. So let me go ahead and stop this now.